Well, hello. This is Pastor Henry Green. Welcome to Power Lunch. I'm going to give everybody just a few moments to get online. I am so excited to have these few moments to spend with you. It is an incredible privilege to be able to speak into life, the life of such incredible people. So if you tuned in, I know it's not by happenstance or circumstance, but there was a divine appointment for you to get some information. Power Lunch is Bible for business-minded people, based around the premise that I think the Bible is the greatest business manual ever written. We just got to do a little work to dig out some of the truths that will aid us in creating profitable businesses. So join us. If you got somebody that you know is a business-minded person, text them, tweet them, tell them to jump on the line with Pastor Henry Green for Power Lunch. Well, we've been in an incredible series, I believe. If you missed any of it, you can check it out on my personal YouTube page, Pastor Henry Green, under the Power Lunch series. We've been in a series called Bible Lessons from the Virtuous Woman, from Proverbs 31. When you read all the things that this woman is, it would seem almost impossible for one person to be all that. But what I want you to recognize or view this scripture from the lens of, this is a woman that starts with nothing and builds an entire empire. So instead of you seeing it as a snapshot of one moment, see it as a blueprint from nothing to empire. So those of you that are ready to be empire builders, this is an excellent series for you. Well, today we're almost at the end of this series, Proverbs 31, and we're going to focus today on verse 28. Reads from the New King James. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. I like the New Living Translation that just says it very simply. Her children stand and bless her. Her husband praises her. And so for the next few moments, I want you to consider the title, Living Consistently. Living Consistently. Well, we've talked many times throughout the scripture, and there's been multiple references to how she takes care of her household. And her children and her husband, we will define as people that she lives with. And you know, if anyone is going to know the inconsistencies in your life, it's going to be people that you live with. Sometimes it's easy to fool people outside of your home because you only have to be whatever you're creating you are for a few moments. But for the people that live with you, they will actually see how consistently you're living. Here's what determines your consistency. When you come into alignment, what you say, what you think, and what you do. You got those three? What you say, what you think, and what you do. One of the great sayings I love is that what you say, think, and do will determine your outcome and your income. Do you have that? What you say, think, and do will determine your outcomes and your incomes. So here's what I'm saying. Many times people will say something and do something else, and that causes inconsistency in what they're saying and what they're doing, or what they're thinking and what they're doing. And those people that are close to you like that will see those inconsistencies when you espouse a principle, but you don't live that yourself. And so when you figure out how to bring all of those things in alignment, that's when you're living truth for yourself. And it's important to be consistent with who you are, who you really are. Some people are one way in person, in public, and another way in private. Well, your children, and your husband would know that, or your spouse would know that. And so, one of the keys to really living a successful life is to bring all of that into alignment. In fact, I like to say it like this: when you align what you think, say, and do, that's when you create maximum momentum toward whatever goal it is you're setting. So I give you this example. It's like, have you ever gone to the grocery and gotten the cart with the bad wheel, and you're trying to push the cart, 3 wheels are going one way, the 4th wheel is going the other way, and it takes such tremendous effort to keep the cart online. In fact, if you're not careful, you'll be so focused on trying to keep the cart straight that you'll forget something that you went to the store for. And that's what we have to do with our lives, is to get them aligned in a way where everything is going the same way. The consistency of aligning your life will cause even the people you live with to rise up and call you blessed. And so, not that we do it for the praise, not that we go for it just out of pure reputation, but if you live it, they will see it. I'll close with this story. It was a true story of what happened to me. Some of you know, early in my business career, I owned restaurants and nightclubs. And I got to a point in that business, even though financially it was a pretty good season, God called me out of that business and asked me to release what I had built. I did that, and then 6 years later, I got my call into ministry, which I fought with every fiber of my beings, just in case I wasn't one that ran willingly saying, Lord, whatever you say. I was one of those rebellious children, and I actually tried to bargain God out of my call. But when I was in training, I entered seminary, and I was an associate minister at Light of the World, and we had a satellite location, and I was teaching there, and this guy that knew me from my club days, from owning the nightclub, came to the church, and he said, how do you go from being a barkeep to a minister? I thought it was a good question, thought it was a fair question. And I didn't know how to answer it. And I prayed about it, and I said, God, what do I say when somebody says that to me? God said, you don't say anything. If you live it, they'll figure it out. And so what I want to share with you today is, if you live it, they'll figure it out, and even the people that you live with will rise up and call you blessed. That's how you be consistent, and that's how you live true to who you're designed to be. Well, this is Pastor Hinsey Green. This has been Power Lunch, Bible for business-minded people. Join me here every Wednesday at 12 noon. I pray this was a blessing to you. If you want more, check me out on Instagram at Pastor Hinsey Green, or on my YouTube channel, Pastor Hinsey Green. One or the other, I'll get more information. I love sharing with you. My prayer is that you be prosperous even as your soul prospers. Have a great Wednesday.